Welcome to video number 4 of the ATM tutorial. We're going to go ahead and finish off the code for this, and I'm going to give you some hints on how to ensure you get the highest mark possible, some suggestions on different things you could try. But honestly, even if you pull off what I have in the video here, that's pretty impressive for grade 8, so well done. We coded some of the option menu last time, including what happens if somebody wants to check their balance, that was number 1, or if somebody wants to terminate the program, that was number 4. At this point, we're going to program what happens if somebody presses 2, which is deposit, and then 3 to withdraw money. So option 2, we're going to go ahead. This is on line 59 for me. I'm going to say variable. We're going to call this deposit amount. We're going to say that's equal to a parse float. We talked about that. That is accepting decimal numbers. We are now going to prompt for some text here. How much would you like to deposit? There we go. And we're going to have a comma after that. We're going to have a 0 just so there's something in the place for now. Then we're going to close our brackets, which we already have, and the comma 10 as we've seen before as well. And then a semicolon at the end of that. So once they type in a number for how much they'd like to deposit, it will be stored in deposit amount. Okay, so from there, we are going to go to the next line. This is still in the if statement. And we're going to make a new formula here. So current balance is now equal to the current balance, so that's whatever they had before, plus the deposit amount. And we need a semicolon. Finally, we're going to say alert, and we're going to say your new balance is, let's leave a little space, and we're going to say plus current balance. Okay, and we need a semicolon at the end of that. So at this point, we might as well test out option number 2 to see if it's working. I'm going to go ahead and press play on this. We'll see if there's any bugs. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the pin. You can see if I do option 1 to check the balance at 0. If I press option 2 and deposit 500, it says it's 500. Let's just make sure it's working though. What if we do option 2 again and deposit 500 more? There we go. So it seems to be working fine. And if I press option 1, it's telling us that we have the up-to-date balance. So far so good on that. And again, we press option 4 to quit the ATM. We are now ready for the final if statement, and really the final main part of this project. What happens if somebody wants to withdraw money from the bank machine, from the ATM? Here we get into something interesting of we have to check to see if they have enough money in their bank account before we just let them take the money out. That's kind of an essential feature here. So let's go ahead and make a variable and call it withdraw amount. And we're going to say that's equal to a parse float. And we're going to prompt them now. And we're going to ask them, how much would you like to withdraw? Once you have that, you're going to have your quotations. You're going to have your comma. We're going to put a 0 in quotations, so there's something there. We have our first bracket. We have a comma. We have 10. And then we have the second bracket. So you could have copied and pasted that from above too, to save a little bit of time that way if you wanted to. All right, so now we're going to go down to the next line. Now we need another if statement, so we're going to have nested if statements here. If, in brackets, withdraw amount is less than or equal to the current balance. Okay, then we're going to allow this to happen. So if they want to take out less than they have, then that's fine. So we're going to open our brackets here for this if statement. And we're going to actually execute the code. So the current balance is now equal to the current balance minus the withdraw amount. And from there we can go ahead and put our semicolon in. And we're going to tell them alert, alert, your new balances and okay, create a space plus our current balance. Okay, so that's what's going to happen if the amount of money is fine. I'm just going to move this squiggly bracket up one. But there's also the condition where they might not have enough money. So let's do an else. And we're going to put an alert in here. And often what you'll see is the message of insufficient funds. Okay. And now if they have insufficient funds, then it's not going to allow them to do the withdrawal. But that's hoping this goes well. So we're going to go ahead and do some tests and see if there's any bugs. So you can see every time I press play, if I do the pin correctly and I check the balance, it's going to start back at 0. If I want to deposit money, oops, let's do a 2 there. Let's deposit 500, and that seems to work. Let's try to withdraw 250 first. Okay, and so that updated properly. But now we're going to try to withdraw 300 more, and it's telling insufficient funds. So the bank machine is working properly. I can press 4 to exit it, and that is basically the end of your project. So you can see just under 100 lines of code here to make this happen. We've got code stuck way down here, so I'm just going to kind of bring that up to clean this up a little bit. Oops. Let's go ahead and try that again to get all this code from down here. It doesn't need to be that low. And we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Don't forget, your easiest marks as always is to comment your code. That's the // that will do that for you. And I'm just going to give you some ideas on other things you could try. Again, if you get this much done, obviously save it. Obviously do save as before you try anything else. But here's a recommendation. This is one of the main level 4 features I'm going to look for. With the verify pin function, if you can make it so that it doesn't just let you try forever to guess what the pin is. So a security system would normally lock somebody out after so many incorrect pins, incorrect attempts. So if you can find a way to build that in, all you're going to need is another if statement and possibly a loop keeping track of how many times people have tried. And you can decide how many times it's going to lock. Let's say 5 times is oftentimes what they do. If somebody tries 5 incorrect pins, then it just kind of locks them out of the program. That would be something you could try for level 4. Obviously the comments too is something you could try, and maybe the option for overdraft or not. So some banks allow somebody to go below 0 for their balance, but maybe you could decide what that overdraft limit's going to be. Maybe they can go 1,000 overdraft, maybe they can go 500, maybe they can go more, but maybe you could build that into your withdrawal function down here to see whether or not they are able to go into the hole and actually kind of owe money to the bank. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about when you do yours too. Again, with this project, you don't have to do things exactly like I do. Obviously it's easier to start like that, but I definitely encourage you to try different things and maybe try to make a new function that does something differently than what you see here, but this will get you through the basics of it. So I hope this video is helpful. Don't forget when you're done to go to the share tab and grab this code here. Sometimes it's in the embed tab. Go ahead and grab that code so that other people can see it and you can post in the comments of the assignment. Hope you enjoyed making your ATM. That's it for the videos. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.